21,000 feet, another pressure sensor starts a timer, triggering most of the remaining events in the landing sequence. Commands will be issued to jettison the heat shield, inhibit the entry thrusters, and to open valves to vent all the hydrogen peroxide fuel for the entry thrusters and the oxygen in the life support system tank. This from the ground is seen as a white vapor, which is normal. That's a combination of hydrogen peroxide and oxygen venting into the air. The purpose of this is to safe the vehicle for landing. The search and recovery forces and the RSC Energia personnel do not want hazardous gases to remain in the tanks when the soft landing thrusters fire just a couple of seconds before touchdown. This way, the ground support personnel can approach the vehicle without personal protection equipment.
Rassvet, Moscow. Go ahead. The report on the descent. Yes, we started the descent. How do you feel? The crew feels great. Okay, copy. Can you give us the pressure in SA 781? Copy. Okay, guys. Congratulations. Descent continues.
That report from Oleg Novitskiy, the Soyuz commander, that the crew is feeling great just about 15 minutes before touchdown.
Can you give me the integral and discrete? Integral is somewhere at about half discrete negative. Half discrete negative. Copy. Wow. That's cool. T 10-0307, expecting OSPEP.
We are standing by for the command for shoot deploy. The main parachute, that large orange and white chute, covers an area of about 1,000 meters, slowing the Soyuz to a descent rate of 7.2 meters per second. The harnesses first allow the Soyuz to descend at a canted angle of about 30 degrees to expel heat, then will shift the Soyuz, rehooking it, if you will, to a straight vertical descent. We're standing by for visual confirmation from the search and recovery forces that the Soyuz is now descending under its parachute. Coming up on 12.5 minutes until touchdown. And there's the video on the front screen of the Russian Mission Control Center of the Soyuz under its main chute, and that white vapor that you see is the combination of hydrogen peroxide and oxygen being vented from the life support system tank. That is nominal. Time to touchdown, 11 minutes, 40 seconds. The large orange and white chute is fully reefed. The Soyuz descending at a nominal rate. Visual contact from the search and recovery forces. 11 minutes until touchdown. Now we're getting our full view of the Soyuz descending under its chute. The heat shield has been jettisoned. That is a radio beacon signal from the Soyuz, used for tracking purposes for the search and recovery forces. Ten minutes until touchdown, everything going by the book. No issues reported. The Soyuz in great shape, as is the crew, as reported by Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitskiy.
Copy.
Cosmos,
Yes. We can copy. Unintelligible.
438, 423, 8-9 зона, Космос передает на Росcosmos.
Unintelligible.
Пятый космос, 8-9 на Росcosmos. 409, 04, 438, 04, 443 на Росcosmos.
Космос, 429-му.
95-429, космос.
423, 438 запрашивают, на Росcosmos следует.
2378. Operations nominal.
443, 438 на Roscosmos.
Unintelligible.
This is Mission Control Houston. Just about 8 minutes until touchdown. Under a cloudless sky over the steppe of Kazakhstan, the Soyuz descending at its nominal rate, the crew feeling good. According to Soyuz Commander Oleg Novitskiy, Loral O'Hara seated to his right, Marina Vasilevskaya to his left.
Altitude
Altitude is 360.
3,600.
3,600 meters above the ground. The search and recovery forces have voice communication with the crew, reporting that they all feel well.
We can see the vehicle.
506, следуйте за объектом.
36, please do follow. Copy.
Once the Soyuz touches down, the ground forces
Search and
already in
rescue,
place in
audio
all-terrain
request waiting.
vehicles will begin to drive toward the capsule as the Russian Mi-8 helicopters land in sequential fashion. just a few dozen feet away from the capsule itself to begin the process of ensuring that the vehicle is safe, that no toxic gases are leaking from the vehicle before they begin the process of extracting the crew.
How do you feel? Kazbek, this is Molnia. This is Kazbek. The altitude is 3,000. Copy.
3,000 meters off the deck, 6.5 minutes till touchdown.
Из космоса.
Так, Казбек, вас молния вызывает, не принимаете его, нет? Не услышал, кого вызывали и кто вызывает.
It was not clear. Come again. This is the ground. What's the altitude? 2,800. Copy.
It's a balmy April day on the steppe of Kazakhstan, which is at this time of year almost like a straw-like surface. 60 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature to greet O'Hara, Novitskiy, and Vasilevskaya.
Высота 2000.
The altitude is 2,000.
2,000 meters off the ground, everything continuing to go very well. The Soyuz system's in good shape. The Soyuz descending at its nominal rate. Just a reminder, about 2 seconds before touchdown, you should see a puff of smoke. That's basically the soft landing engines firing in a final braking
We're
maneuver.
accompanying the vehicle.
The crew's seats will be cocked into an upright position to brace them for landing.
448, please establish contact with the vehicle.
Мы вас приняли, 1900 освободили.
Казбек, молния.
Kazbek, this is Molnia. This is Kazbek.
Казбек, сопровождаем вас. Как самочувствие?
Oleg, we are accompanying you. How do you feel? Excellent. The altitude is 1580.
906, 478. На приеме? Ответили, самочувствие норма. Продолжаем сопровождение.
1500.
Я понял.
The altitude is 1500.
Just about 3.5 minutes away from touchdown, everything proceeding as planned. The Russian Mi-8 helicopters are circling the landing zone. The search and recovery forces have good communications with Novitskiy aboard the Soyuz. He continues to report that the crew is feeling very well.
Высота 1100.
The altitude is 1100.
1,100 meters now before touchdown. Under 3 minutes until the homecoming for these 3 crew members.
Классный спуск, да?
What an excellent descent. Do you agree? Absolutely.
Так, высота 980.
The altitude is 980. Please tighten your straps.
Так, и после моей команды не разговариваем.
Just about 2 minutes until touchdown.
The altitude is 900.
900 meters off the ground.
Космос 472, 478. Землю видно?
Can you see the ground? The altitude is 700.
Just over a minute until touchdown, 600 meters off the ground.
Meters.
Космос 906. Группе 4 единицы, подходим к объекту. Берем на сопровождение.
4 units are approaching the object. I can see the ground now.
500 метров.
The altitude is 500 meters.
Самолета не видно?
Can you see a helicopter? No, I can't.
There is one of the Russian Mi-8 helicopters circling the vicinity, another one. Once the Soyuz touches down, so will those helos in
The
sequential
altitude is
fashion
350.
to begin the heart of the extraction process as they remove the crew from the descent module. We should see the horizon here
meters.
any moment.
All right, we will be keeping silent here and waiting for the landing.
And we have touchdown. Touchdown at 2:17 a.m. Central Time, 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time, 12:17 p.m. at the landing site. Loral O'Hara back
Touchdown.
on terra firma after 204 days in space.
Прибыль посадочный 360. На свои места.
Please assume your positions.
Космос 429.
Cosmos to 429.
429.
49.
Докладу экипажу спускаем на землю.
29, занимайтесь четвертую зону. Высота
Let's go to zone 4.
Кто пока здесь по группе? Четвертую занять удалось.
We are still here.
Once again, the Soyuz MS-24 back on Earth. A safe touchdown for Loral O'Hara, Oleg Novitskiy, and Marina Vasilevskaya, following a flawless undocking
Please
from the International Space Station, the deorbit burn,
at your position.
and
I'm
all of
still
the
in
entry
air.
activities tripped off in perfect
Once you
fashion,
reach your position, please land.
resulting in a landing at 2:17 a.m. Central
There's no
Time,
call.
3:17 a.m. Eastern Time.
Please assume your positions relative to the vehicle. Not relative to me, but relative to the vehicle.
космосу. Положение объекта.
To Cosmos, what is the position of the object? It is on its side.
Космос 429.
Cosmos to 429.
Координаты запишите: северный 4724, восточный 6939.
Please write down the coordinates.
4724.
4724 north.
And on the front screen of the Russian Mission Control Center outside of
6939
Moscow,
east.
the words Jest Posadka. They've landed, and a welcome home for Loral O'Hara, as well as for Marina Vasilevskaya and Oleg Novitskiy.
95 409, ответь 429. Космос, передавайте, передам 409. 409 вам космос передает на Росcosmos. Мягкая посадка.
We've momentarily lost the video from the landing site. That means that the television cameras operated by RSC Energia from all-terrain vehicles at the landing site, they have momentarily terminated their signal, as those vehicles will now drive to the capsule where they will reestablish video as soon as they reach that area. Once again, a perfect touchdown for Loral O'Hara, Oleg Novitskiy, and Marina Vasilevskaya. This is Mission Control Houston. The report from the search and recovery forces at the landing site indicating that the Soyuz landed on its side and that the crew is feeling good as they await the arrival of the Rosaviatsa search and recovery team to begin the process of extracting them from the descent module. Again, the Soyuz landed on its side, which is typical. About 50% of these landings will see the Soyuz dragged by wind in the area that captures the chutes and pulls the capsule onto its side as opposed to landing upright. But the important thing is that the crew is in good shape, according to the search and recovery forces, who have voice communication with Oleg Novitskiy, the Soyuz commander, inside the descent module. Landing again occurring at 2:17 a.m. Central Time, 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time, 12:17 p.m. at the landing site in Kazakhstan, about 91 miles to the southeast of the town of Jezkazgan. This is Mission Control Houston. The Soyuz, with its 3 occupants, landed about 10 minutes ago. Just about a pinpoint landing to the southeast of Jezkazgan and right on time. The search and recovery forces are in the process of moving toward the vehicle to begin ensuring that the vehicle is safe before they begin the work to extract the crew, who will be placed in chairs by the capsule for a few minutes to get their land legs back. Loral O'Hara coming home after 204 days in space. Novitskiy and Vasilevskaya after 2 weeks aboard the vehicle and 12 days aboard the International Space Station. The landing was on time. All of the undocking and landing sequence events went as planned, per the schedule, no issues. And Novitskiy has reported several times that the crew is feeling well. The Soyuz did land on its side after touchdown. As we await the search and recovery forces making their way toward the Soyuz MS-24, following the on-time landing of the 3 crew members on board, Loral O'Hara, Oleg Novitskiy, and Marina Vasilevskaya, joining us here on console is the ISS program manager, Joel Montalbano. Good morning, Joel, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Rob. Awesome landing. That was just fantastic to see the crew home.
So thoughts about Loral's return to Earth after 204 days, 6.5 months aboard the station, and the completion of Expedition 70 with all of the science that was accomplished as well as the other objectives?
You know, with the return of Expedition 70, we're running just under 4,000 investigations since Expedition 0 on board the International Space Station. And the cool thing about this crew is they were up there when we celebrated 25 years of the International Space Station and how it's changed over those 25 years, from, you know, the assembly of ISS to the research and science we're doing on board, the technology development we're doing on board, the commercialization activities on board, and just awesome to see Expedition 70 participate at and add to the great statistics we have on board the International Space Station.
Joel, from flight director to director of human spaceflight in Russia to deputy ISS program manager to the ISS program manager, you've spent about 2 decades very closely involved in the evolution of NASA's relationship with Roscosmos, the European Space Agency, the Japan Aerospace Exploration Agency, and the Canadian Space Agency, in seeing the space station expand and flourish. What have been the major milestones you've seen during this time that has made the ISS the complex it is today?
You know, some of the coolest milestones that I think we've done as a partnership is, you know, first going from 3 crew members to 6 crew members. You add then a step up to the incorporation of the U.S. commercial crew vehicles and what we've been able to do with the SpaceX Dragons. recently with the private astronaut missions, how we're incorporating more and more of the commercial aspect into the International Space Station. And, one of the things that I like is when I look around the partnership, I see a lot of the ISS experience we have with our international partners moving on to our next programs, moving on to our exploration and taking the lessons learned and the expertise that we've gained on board the space station and playing that forward such that we can be even more successful as we look past to low Earth orbit.
The ISS today, when it's all said and done, has a lot of life left. But if you had to write the history book right now of the space station, what do you think its lasting legacy is going to be?
To me, the lasting legacy is the international cooperation. We have set the standard on what it takes to cooperate across the globe. Through the 25 years of International Space Station, we have incorporated activities from over 110 countries across the globe. And I think that when you look forward and you kind of look and write about the International Space Station, you're going to write about the international cooperation and what we've done as a human race.
As they say in life, one door closes, another one opens, and today's landing is a fitting end, if not bittersweet for you possibly, to your tenure as ISS program manager. As you hand over the reins to Dana Weigel, your deputy, she'll become program manager. Your new job, a tough one, a challenging one, Deputy Associate Administrator for Space Operations. What do you foresee as your expanded role for NASA in your new position as we press ahead not only with the International Space Station, but the Artemis program and all of the rest?
I see my role as helping the team focus as we look at space station through the end of the decade. What do we need to continue doing? What do we need to do on space station to help the exploration effort? What do we need to do to make that Artemis program even more successful? I see my new role as helping develop these commercialization activities, these new space stations that we want in low Earth orbit, and what we can do within the Space Operations Mission Directorate, and how to encourage that, to expand that, and do the best we can to make sure when we move forward with space station that the next programs are taking all our lessons learned, using those, and moving as quickly as they can as they develop forward.
Joel, it's been quite a ride and a pleasure to have come this far with you, with lots more stories yet to come.
Rob, thank you very much. You guys have, this is an awesome team to work with. It's humbling. It's been an honor to do what I've been able to do. And I look forward to helping wherever I can in the future. So thank you very much.
Joel Montalbano, the ISS program manager, with us following the textbook landing of the Soyuz MS-24 as we await the resumption of video from the landing site as the recovery process will begin to extract the crew members from the descent module. And as they say, timing is everything, as we now are back at the landing site, watching the beginning of the extraction of the crew, the search and recovery forces, the RSC Energia personnel on the scene to begin removing the crew members one by one. They'll be placed in chairs right by the capsule so that they can have a few minutes to regain their land legs.
Третий в эфире. Я стою, да, на одном месте.
Yeah, I'm here in this location.
Again, the scene at the landing site where the Soyuz MS-24 touched down about 20 minutes ago.
What are you guys doing here?
You can see the 3 chairs set up for the crew members who will be extracted and placed in those chairs to have a few minutes to regain their land legs. They'll then be carried into a nearby inflatable medical tent for preliminary medical exams and to remove their Sokol launch and entry suits. In the blue flight suit that you see there, that's NASA Chief Photographer Bill Ingalls from NASA headquarters. He was aboard one of the Russian Mi-8 helicopters to photograph the Soyuz descent and touchdown, now by the capsule, waiting for the crew to be extracted.
Can you please move away? We're on air live. Once again, the work continuing by the RSC Energia personnel to talk to the crew and run through the post-landing procedures. Novitskiy in the center seat of the Soyuz descent module. On his right, Loral O'Hara. On his left, Marina Vasilevskaya, the 3 to be extracted just a short time from now. They'll be put in those chairs that you saw just a moment or two ago for a few minutes before they will be carried in those chairs to the nearby inflatable medical tent for post-landing medical tests and to change into more comfortable flight clothing. All right. Grab the leg and grab the arm. Looks like everything is fine.
This should be the Soyuz commander, Oleg Novitskiy. First out from the center seat. That makes the extraction of the other two much easier.
We are broadcasting straight to MCCM.
Лёх, удочка. Все, есть удочка.
Oleg Novitskiy completing the fourth flight in his career, 545 days in space.
We have the sound. The second crew member is being extracted from the descent module.
The stark landscape of the Kazakh steppe as recovery operations are continuing with the extraction of the crew, all in good shape, according to Novitskiy. Once again, Oleg Novitskiy looking none the worse for wear after 14 days in space.
Could you please move a little bit away? Very gently, easy. The leg got stuck. Okay. Over there.
And Loral O'Hara now out of the Soyuz MS-24. O'Hara back on Earth after 204 days in space.
Дай сетскую маску, у меня нету больше. Нету тебе? А нету, говорит, у меня? Нету? Ну ладно.
Можно сюда? Я сейчас когда сюда буду космонавт. Аккуратнее, тут провод, провод. О, вот, смотрите.
Be careful, there's a wire around here.
Давай, давай, давай. Давай. Друг другу не мешаем.
All right. Please do not interfere with each other's actions.
Заглядывай, будешь. Все, теперь не мешаем. Здравствуй, красавица. Ну вот ты дома.
And the crew's awaiting the extraction of Marina Vasilevskaya, the last one out. A very swift extraction process coming just 30 minutes after touchdown on the steppe of Kazakhstan, about 91 miles to the southeast of the town of Jezkazgan.
Так, ноги, потихоньку, ноги.
Be careful with her legs.
Правую доставать. Так, давай назад чуть-чуть.
Just move a little bit back.
Спокойно, дыши ровненько, не торопись. Подожди, стой.
Breathe easy. Don't pant.
Она еще снизу. Давай вот чуть-чуть лобку назад. И потом вверх чуть. И вперед. Опять.
Hold on just a little bit. Don't rush. There is no rush.
Мешок этот. Шланги прошли. Там этот.
All the hoses are through.
Тихо, этот. Так, давай, я выпущу почти. Давай на меня. Ложись на плечо.
Okay.
And here comes Marina Vasilevskaya, the Belarus spaceflight participant who wrapped up 2 weeks in space, 12 days aboard the International Space Station.
Easy, easy.
Ступня свободна? Ступня свободна?
Is your foot loose?
Нет, нормально, не надо. За руль ты зацепилась. Туда. Чуть-чуть свое кресло, давай. Назад. Назад пошла. Чуть-чуть.
So move a little bit back. Don't pant. Breathe easy.
А можно еще раз повернуть?
Could you please turn it our way?
Спасибо.
Thank you.
Так, ножка. Берите здесь. Тихо, стоп.
All right, please grab her. Very careful with her leg. All right, got her.
Marina Vasilevskaya now out of the Soyuz MS-24. All 3 crew members enjoying sunshine and fresh air.
Подальше, ну пожалуйста, вы же на них залезли.
Just keep your distance.
Назад, но
Please move away a little bit,
дальше, ну
a little further.
какая мне нравится? Цуп, не цуп, блядь, если он на него сядет. Можно я чуть-чуть?
Don't overcrowd, please. Take a couple of steps back. 2 more steps back, please, everyone.
Лех, звук нормально, хорошо пойдет.
Have you done the tests? Yes.
Just to recap, we are continuing to receive television from the landing site.
To move a little bit away. Hello,
The Soyuz MS-24 landed right on time at 2:17 a.m. Central Time, 3:17 a.m. Eastern Time, 12:17 p.m. at the landing site.
Pickles for you. Here you go. How do you feel? Marina, you look beautiful. Everyone is saying a big hello to you. You're our heroine. We are so proud of you. And we brought these flowers for you to say thank you to your heroic deed. And here's some juice. I'm overwhelmed with emotions. It's something incredible. And I wish all people on Earth to treasure and cherish what they have, because this is precious. We knew that we were awaited here on the ground, and I thank all people of Belarus. We had a lot of activities on board, and we actually wanted to stay a little longer, but it's great to be back. It was awesome to be on board the station.
Ее закрыли опять. Я тебе говорю, закрыли ее опять.
Thank you so very much. I'm so glad to see you all. So Marina, we all tried to bring you something, but are you hungry at this very moment? No, not at all. We just had breakfast. I'm just overwhelmed with emotions. I'm not hungry at all. I'm so glad to see you all. Thank you for your support. The weather is great. It's sunny. It's warm. We were actually praying to the steppe gods for this weather. Thank you all who supported me, who rooted for me. I feel excellent, feel great. I now understand why people want to be cosmonauts. when I saw this with my own eyes, I understood like why I'm here.
The crew answering a few questions from some of the members of the media gathered at the landing site. There's a wide view you can see in the background, a Russian Mi-8 helicopter, part of the Rosaviatsa Search and Recovery Force team. All 3 crew members out of the descent module, all feeling well, they report. Soon to be carried in those chairs to the nearby inflatable medical tent for medical exams and to change out of those so-called launch and entry suits.
Oleg, please say something for your relatives. No, I know that all of you guys have been watching my descent from the mission control. We feel awesome. Everything has been great. Thank you very much.
After the brief period of medical exams, the 3 crew members will be brought to 3 different helicopters for a 2-hour flight back to the staging city of Karaganda, Kazakhstan, where they will split up, Loral O'Hara boarding a NASA plane to fly back to Houston, while Novitskiy and Vasilevskaya board a Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center aircraft to fly back to their training base in Star City, Russia, outside of Moscow.
Marina, can you turn it our way? You can put it here.
Скажите, что прямой эфир.
Can you please tell them that we are live on air?
And a good view of Loral O'Hara with a thumbs up. Each of the crew members being presented with a Matryoshka doll, the stacking dolls that bear the resemblance of each crew member.
All right, you guys are good? Yes. All right. Не надо, спасибо.